In the rugged expanse of the American West, a figure emerges from the dust and chaos. Calamity Jane. A hard-drinking, sharp-shooting woman, she embodies defiance against the constraints of her time. Her legend grows from the wild frontier, where survival demands strength and resilience. But how did this orphaned girl, with sunburned skin and fierce blue-gray eyes, rise to become a symbol of courage and chaos? Stagecoaches rumble across the arid landscape, carrying settlers seeking fortune and freedom. Amidst the clatter and dust, whispers of Calamity Jane's exploits ripple through saloons and camps. Her reputation as a fearless rider and sharp shooter precedes her, attracting both admiration and skepticism. She strides into crowded saloons, her buckskin jacket and wide-brim hat commanding attention, a living testament to the wild spirit of the frontier. The frontier is a place of contradictions, where kindness often mingles with chaos. Calamity Jane embodies this duality, known for her fierce loyalty to friends and her quick temper with foes. She navigates a world where survival is paramount, and her ability to outdrink cowboys only adds to her notoriety. With every tale told, the line between truth and legend begins to blur, shaping the myth of a woman who defies expectations. As the sun sets over the frontier, the landscape transforms into a canvas of shadows and light. Calamity Jane rides into towns where danger lurks, her reputation as both protector and troublemaker growing with each encounter. Her sharp jaw and weathered face tell stories of hardship and resilience, while her laughter echoes through the canyons, a sound that both comforts and unsettles those who hear it. In the saloons, the clinking of glasses rings out like gunfire, and tales of her bravery are spun into larger-than-life narratives. Calamity Jane, with her broad shoulders and rugged attire, becomes a living legend, a figure who challenges the norms of femininity in a male-dominated world. Yet beneath the bravado lies a woman shaped by loss and longing, her heart as wild as the land she roams. The American West is a harsh teacher, and Calamity Jane learns its lessons well. Each encounter with danger and each act of defiance adds to her complex identity. Her life becomes a tapestry woven with threads of bravery and recklessness, where the line between hero and outlaw is often indistinguishable. As she rides through the wild terrain, the question remains, who is the real Calamity Jane? The frontier is alive with stories, and Calamity Jane is at the heart of many. Her escapades are recounted around campfires, where laughter mingles with the crackle of flames. Yet as she becomes a figure of myth, the truth of her life remains elusive. With every tale told, the wild woman of the frontier grows more enigmatic, a symbol of defiance against a world that seeks to define her. As the sun rises over the horizon, illuminating the rugged terrain, Calamity Jane continues to carve her path through the wilderness. Her spirit is unyielding, and her story is far from over. The frontier offers both danger and opportunity, and with each passing day, she faces new challenges that will shape her legacy. How will her journey unfold in a world that often seeks to silence her? The legend of Calamity Jane is just beginning to take shape, but the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty. As she navigates the treacherous waters of fame and reputation, the question lingers, can a woman truly forge her own identity in a world that often seeks to define her? The answer lies in the adventures yet to come, where courage and chaos will intertwine. Martha Jane Canary, a girl of barely 10, stands in a dilapidated cabin, her sharp features reflecting the harshness of her surroundings. Orphaned and alone, she faces the daunting responsibility of caring for her younger siblings amidst a backdrop of dust and despair. As the family moves westward in search of a better life, Martha Jane embraces the unforgiving frontier. Each day is a struggle for survival, and she learns to navigate the harsh realities of poverty, hunger, and relentless travel. With her parents gone, Martha Jane takes on odd jobs to support her siblings. She scrubs dishes in a saloon, her strong hands working tirelessly, while the raucous laughter of cowboys fills the air, shaping her tough demeanor. As she grows, her fierce spirit emerges. Martha Jane's quick temper and tall tales earn her respect among the rough men of the frontier. She learns to shoot and ride, proving that she can hold her own in a man's world. The frontier transforms Martha Jane. Her reputation as a hard-drinking, sharp-tongued woman begins to take shape. She becomes known for her ability to outdrink the toughest cowboys, her laughter echoing through the saloons. As the years pass, Martha Jane's independence grows. She embraces her identity as a woman of the frontier, unafraid to challenge societal norms. Her strength and resilience become her defining traits in a world that often seeks to diminish her. With each challenge, her skills sharpen. Martha Jane learns to shoot better than most men, her confidence rising as she faces danger head-on. The frontier becomes her proving ground, a place where she carves her own path. Despite the chaos around her, Martha Jane remains fiercely loyal to her siblings. She often finds herself torn between the wild life of the frontier and the responsibilities that tether her to family, a conflict that shapes her character. Martha Jane's journey is marked by contradictions. As she embraces her wild side, her heart still carries the weight of loss and responsibility. The making of Calamity Jane is just beginning, as she stands on the precipice of legend. As Calamity Jane, now in her late 20s, rides alongside a military scouting party, her sunburned skin and rugged hands reveal a life spent outdoors. Her sharp features and expressive blue-gray eyes reflect determination as she navigates the treacherous terrain. The cavalrymen, initially skeptical, begin to recognize her remarkable skill and fearlessness. Jane's reputation as a protector starts to solidify, intertwining her fate with the soldiers she rides with. The summer sun beats down as Jane leads the scouting party through rugged canyons. Her buckskin jacket flaps in the wind, and her revolvers rest confidently at her belt. The soldiers watch in awe as she expertly navigates the rocky paths, her strong jaw set with focus. Stories of her bravery begin to circulate among the troops, blending truth with embellishment, and the name Calamity Jane starts to echo in the camp. Amidst the chaos of skirmishes, Jane's courage shines through. In one fierce battle, she rides into the fray, rescuing a wounded soldier from enemy fire. Dust and smoke swirl around her as she drags him to safety, her tough hands gripping the reins tightly. This act of valor, half legend and half reality, cements her status as a protector, and the soldiers begin to see her as one of their own. As tales of her exploits spread, Jane embraces the moniker Calamity Jane, claiming she brings calamity to her enemies while shielding her comrades. Her reputation grows, and she becomes a symbol of grit and bravery among the cavalry. The soldiers, once wary of her, now seek her out for advice and camaraderie, recognizing her fierce spirit and unwavering loyalty to their cause. The camaraderie among the soldiers deepens, yet the frontier remains perilous. Jane, with her sharp features and weathered skin, faces the challenges head-on, riding into towns to gather supplies and information. Her presence becomes a beacon of hope, and she often finds herself in the midst of heated discussions about strategy and survival, her voice strong and unwavering. With each passing skirmish, Jane's legend grows, but so does the toll of the violence around her. The weight of her experiences begins to show on her face, with new lines etched into her sharp features. Yet she remains undeterred, her light blue-gray eyes still shining with fierce resolve. The line between heroism and recklessness blurs as she continues to push the boundaries of her own legend. As the seasons change, Jane finds herself torn between her role as a soldier and her desire for freedom. The call of the wild beckons, yet her loyalty to the soldiers she has come to care for keeps her grounded. Amidst the chaos, she grapples with her identity, balancing the fierce protector and the wild woman of the frontier, each day shaping her legend further. Rumors swirl around campfires about Jane's daring rescues and wild escapades, each story more exaggerated than the last. The soldiers recount her exploits with a mix of awe and disbelief, transforming her into a living legend. Jane, aware of the myth growing around her, embraces the attention, yet remains grounded in her reality as a fierce survivor of the frontier. As Jane continues her journey alongside the cavalry, the line between truth and legend blurs further. Her identity as Calamity Jane, the fearless scout and protector, takes shape, yet the challenges of the frontier loom large. With each day, she embraces her role in this chaotic world, ready to face whatever calamity lies ahead, embodying the spirit of the untamed West. Calamity Jane, now in her late 20s, roams the dusty streets of a mining town, her buckskin jacket worn and frayed. The saloons buzz with life, filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses, as she strides in, revolvers at her belt, a fierce glint in her light blue eyes. With each drink, Jane's reputation grows, her wild tales captivating the crowd. She stands on a table, recounting a recent gunfight, her expressive features animated. The audience hangs on her every word, a mix of admiration and disbelief in their eyes. Yet, with fame comes danger. Jane finds herself embroiled in brawls, her tough hands and weathered skin bearing the scars of her life. Each fight adds to her legend, but also to her list of enemies, as whispers of her exploits spread like wildfire. As the sun sets, Jane rides into the night, her silhouette framed against the darkening sky. She visits army forts, her presence a mix of comfort and chaos. Soldiers greet her with cheers, yet the shadows of her past linger, reminding her of the price of her reckless life. Despite her wild lifestyle, Jane nurtures friendships with those who share her struggles. In a small campfire circle, she shares stories with cowboys and miners, her laughter echoing in the night. Beneath her tough exterior lies a woman longing for connection. The newspapers, hungry for sensationalism, amplify her exploits, blurring the line between truth and myth. Headlines boast of her bravery, while Jane, with her rugged skin and sharp features, grapples with the chaos of her life, becoming a spectacle. But the bottle becomes both a companion and a curse. Jane's heavy drinking fuels her wild reputation, yet it also leads to moments of vulnerability. In quiet moments, she reflects on her choices, her light blue eyes clouded with uncertainty. As whispers of her escapades grow, Jane becomes a symbol of the frontier's wild spirit. She rides into towns like a whirlwind, her powerful build and messy hair a reminder of the untamed life she leads, both feared and adored by those around her. Yet, amidst the chaos, Jane remains fiercely protective of those she loves. Her friendships deepen, revealing a nurturing side that contradicts her wild persona. With every challenge she faces, she carves out a place for herself in this unforgiving land. Calamity Jane, now in her late 30s, arrives in Deadwood, her rugged face marked by sun and dust, and her sharp blue eyes scanning the bustling streets. This town, alive with miners and gamblers, offers her both opportunity and chaos. Here she begins to carve a new chapter, her reputation as a fearless woman preceding her. The saloons echo with laughter and the clinking of glasses, a backdrop to her unfolding story. In this rough-and-tumble town, Jane encounters Wild Bill Hickok, a man whose fame matches her own. Their bond, though often exaggerated, is rooted in mutual respect. She finds herself fiercely protective of him, drawn to his charisma and the danger that surrounds him. As they share stories over whiskey, the camaraderie deepens, setting the stage for a tumultuous friendship that will leave an indelible mark on her life. The tranquility of Deadwood is shattered when smallpox sweeps through the town. Jane, with her tough hands and strong shoulders, steps up as a nurse, surprising many with her compassion. She tends to the sick, her weathered face softening as she comforts those in despair. In this moment, her fierce exterior gives way to a nurturing spirit, revealing the depth of her character beneath the bravado. As the outbreak rages, Jane's reputation transforms. The newspapers, hungry for sensational stories, begin to portray her as a frontier heroine, a guardian of the vulnerable. Her image shifts from that of a wild woman to a compassionate figure, capturing the hearts of many. The duality of her existence becomes a focal point as the town grapples with the complexities of her character. Yet, the shadow of tragedy looms over Deadwood. Jane's bond with Hickok becomes a source of tension as danger lurks. She senses the threat that surrounds him, her instincts owned by years of hardship. The weight of her protective nature grows heavier, and the town buzzes with whispers of impending doom. Jane's fierce loyalty is tested, setting the stage for a heart-wrenching turn of events. The inevitable day arrives when Wild Bill Hickok is murdered, and Jane's world shatters. Her grief is palpable, a raw emotion that strips away her bravado. The loss reverberates through Deadwood, and she is left grapple with the void he leaves behind. In this moment of despair, the town witnesses the depth of her humanity, revealing a woman who has loved fiercely and lost profoundly. As Jane navigates her grief, she becomes a symbol of resilience for the townspeople. They rally around her, recognizing the strength she embodies. The stories of her compassion during the smallpox outbreak and her fierce loyalty to Hickok intertwine, solidifying her status as a living legend. In the heart of chaos, she finds a renewed sense of purpose, determined to honor the memory of her fallen friend. With the town's support, Jane begins to forge a new identity, one that balances her wild past with her emerging role as a protector. The legend of Calamity Jane continues to grow, shaped by the trials she faces. As she looks towards the horizon, the weight of her experiences propels her forward, hinting at the adventures yet to come. The frontier remains untamed, and so does she. As Calamity Jane steps onto the stage of Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, she transforms into a living legend. Dressed in a buckskin jacket and wide-brim hat, she captivates audiences with tales of her daring exploits, blending fact and fiction into a mesmerizing performance. With her sharp features and expressive light blue eyes, Jane commands the audience's attention as she reenacts daring rescues and gunfights. Each story is a piece of her life, yet she embellishes them, creating a mythic persona that resonates with the crowd. Behind the scenes, however, the reality is starkly different. Jane battles poverty and the toll of years spent in the wild. Her hands, tough and rough from a life outdoors, show signs of wear, reflecting her struggles even as she performs. Despite her growing fame, Jane grapples with loneliness. The applause fades when the curtain falls, leaving her in silence. She longs for the camaraderie of the frontier, feeling increasingly disconnected from the life that made her a legend. As the performances continue, Jane's health begins to decline. The effects of heavy drinking and a turbulent lifestyle catch up with her. She struggles to maintain the vibrant persona that audiences adore, even as her body shows signs of wear. In the midst of her personal battles, Jane finds solace in the stories she tells. Each performance is a chance to reclaim her narrative, to remind herself and others of her fierce spirit and the adventures that shaped her identity. As her legend grows, so does the pressure to live up to it. Jane becomes aware that the line between her true self and the myth she has created is becoming increasingly blurred, leaving her to question her own identity. The stage lights may shine brightly, but the shadows of her past loom large. As Jane prepares for her next performance, she steels herself for the battle between the woman she is and the legend she has become, knowing the story is far from over. In August 1903, Calamity Jane, now in her 40s, is a shadow of her former self. Her once vibrant eyes, now clouded and weary, reflect years of hard living. She visits the grave of Wild Bill Hickok, a poignant reminder of her past. The town of Deadwood buzzes with whispers of her declining health, as she struggles to maintain her legendary persona amidst the toll of time and alcohol. As news of her frail condition spreads, the townsfolk of Deadwood gather to pay their respects. They remember her as the fearless woman who rode into danger, her buckskin jacket now faded and worn. Her reputation as a protector and a wild spirit is celebrated, even as her body succumbs to the ravages of time, leaving behind a legacy that intertwines truth and myth. On August 1st, Jane passes away in a modest boarding house, her life marked by both chaos and compassion. The room is simple, filled with remnants of her storied past, a dusty revolver, a faded photograph of Wild Bill, and a tattered dress. The air is heavy with the weight of her final moments, as the frontier legend quietly slips away, leaving behind echoes of her tumultuous life. The news of her death reverberates through Deadwood, and the local newspaper publishes a heartfelt tribute, calling her the Guardian of the West. They recount her daring exploits and her fierce loyalty to friends and strangers alike. In death, Jane becomes the embodiment of the frontier spirit, a symbol of defiance and resilience that resonates with a nation hungry for legends. As her funeral procession winds through the streets of Deadwood, a crowd gathers, united in mourning. They carry her casket adorned with wildflowers, a testament to her wild spirit. The townspeople share stories of her bravery and kindness, blurring the lines between fact and fiction as they celebrate the life of a woman who defied the conventions of her time. In the years that follow, Calamity Jane's story transforms into folklore. Writers, filmmakers, and musicians draw inspiration from her life, crafting tales of her adventures and misadventures. Her image evolves into that of a fearless heroine, a symbol of freedom and nonconformity, capturing the imagination of generations who long for the wild spirit of the frontier. Decades later, her legacy endures, celebrated in novels, films, and songs that romanticize her life. Calamity Jane becomes a figure of empowerment, a woman who carved her own path in a male-dominated world. Her story inspires countless others to challenge societal norms, embodying the spirit of resilience and defiance that defines the American frontier. Calamity Jane's spirit lives on, a testament to the complexities of her life. She remains a symbol of the untamed West, a reminder that beneath the bravado lay a woman of depth and compassion. As her legend continues to grow, so does the understanding that her story is not just one of hardship, but also of triumph, defiance, and the relentless pursuit of freedom.